Welcome back, guys. I thought I'd start this review off with a little bit of a spooky tone to it. After all, we did just have Halloween not that long ago, so I thought that would be in the best way to move it, especially after the material that we're going to have, because it's probably one of the more horrific episodes that we've had in Samurai Jack so far. Now, during this episode, Jack will come across a creature that was created from his own actions, adding to that whole horror aspect of this review. Now, as you saw, we meet up with Jack in that field just wandering through when all of a sudden he hears that sinister beckoning to him, which he follows along, maybe foolishly, but he does listen to it, which leads him into a burnt out land, completely charred, wondering what's caused all this because it's complete devastation. Now, what Jack finds is the remains of Vikings and the remains of their ships. But it's a barren wasteland. There's no water anywhere close, but something ominous happened here that really changed the whole landscape of things. Now, following his voice, it leads him to a cave that has lava and more Viking remains. As he goes through the cave, he encounters more traps where there's a bunch of dead warriors that got caught up in these traps. As Jack is weaving his way through like some kind of Indiana Jones, he eventually gets to the heart of the mountain where he finally comes face to face with some sort of monstrous lava creature. Now, the creature greets Jack by saying, "Welcome to your doom." Now, before anything else happens, though, Jack does question the creature why. Why he's been beckoning warriors to come to him to be slaughtered in these traps. And the creature's only replies that his purpose is to fight. And with that, he engages Jack with a full-on combat. Now, the blows go back and forth. Some great moves are going on. Jack pulling out his samurai moves, going back and forth, and it's great. It's a great little exchange between the two. Jack is able to get a nice solid blow on the side of the creature, letting out a whole bunch of lava and steam. Now, instead of like a normal monster that Jack has faced before, letting out a scream of agony and then charging back at him, the beast seems to be almost grateful, for he lets out a sigh of relief and says that finally he has a worthy opponent. Strange, Jack takes a step back and, going off a hunch here, he sheathes his weapon and says, "Hey, I'm not going to fight you anymore, bro. I don't see any purpose for it. I'm not going to fight you for your own entertainment. There's no honor in this." And this seems to only enrage the creature for some reason. Like, why would he care about honor? Like, why wouldn't he be more frustrated about Jack not fighting him? Well, the creature seems to have some own points of views for it. He just states like, "What do you know of honor? I've been waiting here for a millennium, and with my goal so close, I'm gonna come for you, and I'm gonna achieve my victory finally." What victory? You just literally met Jack just a few seconds ago. So what kind of goal? Like, what's going on here? Well, this is where we get to know the creature a little bit more. Now, Jack and him go back and forth a few more times. The creature wanting to fight, Jack keeping on saying it's pointless. I don't see a reason. It's not honorable. So no, I'm not going to fight. Till finally, the creature just begs Jack to fight him honorably, because apparently this lava monster hasn't always been a lava monster. But it turns out that he was a Viking from 1,000 years ago. Now, what happened to him is that there was a dark shapeshifter that came to his land that was destroying everything. He brought his army to fight back against this dark creature, but just wiped out his forces. Now, we know this dark creature as a Ku, but the man doesn't know what to call it. He just calls it the Dark Figure. And he fought against it constantly, but it didn't matter. Eventually, he was on his dying breath, but before he could pass away to go to Valhalla, a Ku snatches him up, mocks his death, mocks his soldiers, and encases him in crystal, and forces him to watch as a Ku goes to plunder his city and destroy his family and friends, making him watch the whole ordeal. But Ku's cruelty isn't done yet, for at this point a Ku takes the crystal and shoves it into a mountain, where he has been slowly been able to gain power to form this monstrous creature, where he can finally move, to the point where then he could start beckoning warriors to come and finish him off, but none have so far. Hearing this tragic tale, Jack agrees to the man's quest and fights the creature, and we have another series of blows. Jack getting knocked out, barely getting by, but again he comes back, and the fight continues on until finally Jack is able to slay the creature. With the creature slain, the form changes back to the man, a young Viking warrior, but then he ages in an instant, falling to the ground, losing his sword. Jack rushes over to the man, and the man requests that Jack give him his sword. And Jack does, and the man is able to pass away peacefully, as a Viking should. Now, as he has passed, there's a light that shines upon Jack and the old man. Now, where this light comes from, we don't know because they're in the center of a mountain. There's no way that any light should be coming in. That's not coming from the lava. When Jack looks up more closely at it, though, he sees coming from the light the Valkyries coming to claim their last soldier, their last son, the last Viking to bring him home. As he gets carried away, the old man opens his eyes and smiles at Jack as he is returned to Valhalla, where he rightfully belongs. Now, I think Jack acquiesced to the man's request to fight him for two reasons. One, out of pity for the poor man and wanting to release him from Aku's cruelty. But the second is that this was a creature formed from Jack's own actions. Now, what do I mean by that? Formed by his own actions. Jack's whole point back in the first episode was to defeat Aku, but due to a combination of Jack's arrogance and not careful planning, he got tricked by Aku and shot into the future, thus causing this reality for this man and the destruction of his family. I mean, the story that the man told is probably the story of millions upon billions of people all around the globe, because now we know for sure that Aku is the master of this world. I mean, we've known that for the whole series, but this just reinforces that idea. So everything that has happened is on Jack's shoulders. So I can understand why Jack would see this as, this is my responsibility to release this poor soul from his imprisonment that Aku has set upon him. So I thought they did a very good job with this episode. I'm going to probably rank this as a number 9. I'd love to come back to it and watch it again. You got that little bit of creepiness aspect to it, but it also has a deeper layer to it than what I have to say from the other episodes. So I personally enjoyed it. Again, the art style was fantastic. I thought they did a great job here. I thought the storyline was great. Gave a nice little bit of dynamic there, and showed that Jack isn't just a mindless fighting machine. That if he doesn't see a point in the fight, if he doesn't think it's honorable, he'll sheath his sword and let it be. So I like to see that honorable warrior aspect to Jack. So, but leave your comments down below. Do you think that this creature really wasn't Jack's fault? That this is more on Aku? That there wasn't much that Jack could have done? That Jack shouldn't blame himself? Or do you think that this is totally Jack's fault? I'd like to hear your thoughts below. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care now.